know your opposition and we don't care. We will only do one thing, make a good life for you so that you can stay alive, live well. After all, half of the opposition people here in Abalim Parliament, they are as rich as no man's business. I only feel sorry, and that's why I support Museveni, because Museveni cares about the poor person in the opposition, because he knows that that person has been misled. Here you are following a guy who definitely, you see him kneeling down in Bazungu. Yet the narrative on Africa today is patriotism. Oh my goodness. And you even say, Abadem Bazungu, and Nemukuba Nengal, really? Ngatemulaba Africa, yo nego Bazungu. Chokama muli mabega wakali. The likes of Nambooze, the pretenders, just because they look for office. So, and this issue is political, because it is serving people two-way. If we've been politics, we've been serving a two-way, and I'm happy that things are happening that way. Nemumalamu abantu abamageze ekitiibwa kati bulaba eri wali olutalo Nambooze byayogedde bya kisiru nnyo. It is the most stupid thing. Lwaki temwazze ku ebyo ne correctinga Nambooze? Muli ku Bebe kulu olwokubanga mwagala okubika ensobi za Nambooze. You started that topic because Nambooze had done the most stupid. Bobi Wine and Nambooze this week have said the most stupid two statements. How do you attack? How do you come and say nti abaganda abawakyawagira Museveni muli basiru nnyo? Obuwagizi bw'omukulembeze wa Uganda buva ku baganda oba buva ku banna-Uganda? Why is your topic always about baganda? Can't you have common sense and see nti nekyo kikukyaya tribes endala? For us, of course, tukubengalo naye ate kinuma nnyo kati njagala nnyo exposing exactly wakinali ngamba nti no Bobi Wine omutwe gwo munafu nnyo. At least emyaka gy'omaze mu politics today, wali badde oyina ky'oyizeeko. Museveni bw'aba akuba akalulu, wali badde oyiga akubira wa? You have to learn from the best. Bulijjo nange nenoonyamu ekintu ekigambo waayo oba kasajja nkawalana lwa music. No, naye n'obwongo obukalu nabo butukooya. That's why we are still stuck with the NRM. Gwe notamanya nti obukulembeze is not about baganda. Otukyayisiza abantu bonna, oyagala okuleeta tribalism eddemu abantu batandika okubanga batulabanga abaganda. Tugenda kwesigala nti tukyuke nga basobola okulaba nti tuli baganda, ennyindo tuzisale ngomaze otukyayisa. Can't you just learn that leadership is about every tribe, not one? Then nizileta Nambooze embo fe tusobola okufuna obululu ne Buganda ezi region endala ne tubagana okulonda. Really? And you are a human being in Uganda here? Ye mwe abatudde mu bantu baffe wano mukulembeza. Ensonga lwaki have gone to the politics is because it is noob bloggers obwavuddeyo ne butandika okumisguidinga nga bukozesa statement yange okukavaringa mistakes ezakoleddwa mu wiiki zabadde bbiri eza nuupu. Omanyi this is how social media works. Okay? Omuntu bw'akola ensobi abeera asaba Katonda wajjewo topic emubika. Kakati topic eyo bwebula ng'omuntu oyo akuba essimu agamba aba bloggers be nti mulonde ku ekyo bukibuzaabuze bwe kiti mukole bwe muti. If you really meant that Bebe Cool meant ntino ya blocking anga abayimbi, why didn't you play at least a clip of 5 minutes or 10 minutes of the conversation? You have lost it completely, you young people, you old people who are pretending mwe mubulirira bana abantu. if you notice, there's been consistency in my position in a lot of things. Ndi consistent politically, and I'm consistent on ebintu byembera mbulira. Nebozijjayo tewabangayo statement iyo naje yali ekyuse mu kamwa kange. Kwanja nyensi yange. And I want people to understand. Ne music yono nalibadde namuvaamu mbabulira mazima, because I see where also a percentage ziri. Now that I know the music muzibu nnyo, ensendala zituleka, tewali muyimbi muto agenda kusobola kukompitinga ku level competing bwako kati. Ekigenda okubeera wensi yaffe bajja gifulanga yo ya welcoming all the stars who become big, all the African big stars are becoming a big munsi, nga ffe betulinda ne tuteeka na lugogo ne jula yonna yonna, nga ffe tetulinayo waffe asobola kugenda, kubanga kati music ali so expensive. Kati bana abaana abata baliwo banakola batya albums zino n'ennyimba ezo tebasobola, balina kola kamukamu. Kati bw'oyagala Bebe Cool ate ku ssaawa eno nga yasobola okuteekamu ku kasente ate naye aveeyo, then kati industry n'atuuka ddi okukolayo album. Mwe kenyini abanauganda mwe mubeeraawo, Wizkid ayina album, Davido yatadde album, abanauganda muliko ki? Ne mujerega epasi yakola ka album ke mu ddiiro lye biki and you tewalina luyimba luzanya. That is you. Kakati ate Bebe afunye ku sente asobola okwaccessinga funds esokola album, ate bw'agikola ate nti oyo baganya bana ato okuvayo bali badde lwaki bali badde bava mu music nga bali legends nga simanyi bakwina record label. Who told you to make a record label? You just need to be old. You the young one, why can't you make one instead? It is very, very, very important for you mwino okufumitiriza, mwino okuyiga okufumitiriza. Bwe mutafumitirizenga temujja kutegeeranga kiki lwaki abantu bakola ebintu bye bakola ki bye bakola. Ate nabagambako dda nti obwongo bw'omwana omuto tebusobola ku digestinga bintu kwenkana bwongo bwa muntu mukulu. Omuntu omukulu bw'ayogera byayogera tebabisuula mu gguluka. Kivula nabakubira kabakamwako. Kati waliwo ne gwe nalabye yakuteeyo statement n'ateekako akayimba kabakamwako kikola positive two way. Akamwako kaso kuba nga kogera ebintu naye nga abantu tebabitegeera. So mwabadde bagezaako okuddira topiki ya Bebe Cool mu gifuule nti ebika mistakes za Nambooze neza Kadingo. Sebo temujja kugubikawo awo. Ate okumanya temujja kubikawo. Ekirungi nalabye ne kana akavubuka ke South Africa kakisekanga era today actually wembadde ndaba nenga actually ndoza mulimuko ku bantu abagezaako okutegeera common sense nga bayina bamanyi okufumitiriza. Kakiseka nkalabye kabyogera. That's where you should point. Actually nebajjo leero mulabye. Omanyi eyo muvuka tategeera naye ate naye leero alina amagezi. Eyo gye mulina okuti muli mu nsobi. Temuddira byaffe ebintu ebiguidinga abaana. Why in this world would amaanyi gennina sisobola gatuuzaako muntu? Sisobola. Ekyo mu kufa kwange Allah ankola ekyayagala. Sisobola. Because already ne benwana nabo banafu. Yenze nkyalina gwenwana naye musically. No one. I'm doing musical wange like nothing. My job is to only support the Ugandan artists to see how far can we go. But the support is not putting ice cream in your mouth. You young people. The support won't come by smearing kunguru, mbukusiga kunguru. No. You need to understand it is even going to be tougher. Nalabe waliwo yakoze list y'abayimbi mbu abalemwa ndoza kati mutegedde lwaki mwalemwa mbu the big three mbu system. Illusion in your mind. Obunafu. When we prayed tubagamba nange kati ngenda bagamba ekintu maze emyaka mingi nga mbagamba kunjaga ambagaba n'enjaga eyo gye mulaba nze nagitegeera enjaga kyekola enjaga eyo ena element gye making omuntu okubeera comfortable n'olabira ddala ng'ogenza oli wakabi kati omuntu wakabi ayinza okukola oleda aba amanyi wakabi. Get me that from omuntu bwobanga oli mu modi yegamba nti Rastafari oba olaba oli ne Katonda ng'otuuse oba tusobola kukola mulo oba tusobola kukola era bwekuggwako ekibeerawo kibeera nti oba oyagala kuddayo eri ewa Katonda wabadde atudde ng'ozzaako. I don't want to put names on this. But I have seen so many great artists in Uganda destroy their careers and their lives because of weed. Instead of listening to these things that I keep dropping one by one, hey guys, make friends. How many today, if I may ask you young people, why do you think when Jeff promotes an artist, if that artist leaves Jeff, it's very difficult for them to make it? Why do you think so? It's because you refuse to understand what is Jeff's strength. Jeff's strength is friends with DJs, friends with owners of radio stations. That is his strength. So when he gets an artist, he just keeps taking them back in his social capital. When he goes back to his social capital, when he has a new artist, he'll tell his friends that stop playing the old artist. I'm no longer working with him or her. Play this new artist. That's why when you leave Swang's Avenue has a budget that only pays for artists in there. They don't pay for artists who have left Swang's Avenue because those artists would be competing with the new artists. So the budget will go on the new artist. So Swang's Avenue as a management or a record company will go and say, please remove all the previous songs from the playlist. Now load these new songs. It is as easy as that. That's what I meant. So as an individual artist, I can do the same. That I was supporting so and so, but now I don't. Please, instead of that, in the money I gave, please play so and so. So I want you artists to take this as business, not as fun, not as a favor, not as... We are not in church, guys, because you're wasting a lot of time. It should not be time wasted. It should be time invested. It's a business. The music industry is a business. How is business done? Ask yourselves. That's why these guys that we're trying to compete with, of course, recently when I did my interview with Desope in the UK, I was so hurt by just the things he told me. And he was right. The Ugandan artists started to go to the UK, to London, as much as the Nigerian artists were going there. Actually, I can guarantee you that there is no Nigerian who had a club. The clubs were owned by Ugandans. One of ours was Charlie Rubega, who owned, it was called Paya. Yeah, Paya one, and another, what club in London. And even the Nigerians who were having their nights in there. But there is no single Ugandan artist we balinga batutwala agenda ku Friday ku Lwokubiri na kola media tour mu UK. No, bwe batutwalanga ku Lwokubiri n'otuuka ku Lwokubiri olw'eggulo ne bakutwala mu ddiiro ly'omuntu ne bakwalira ne weebakaawo ne bakukima ne bakutwala okulya emmere olw'eggulo muka restaurant k'abana Uganda. Jukira ogenze kuyimbira abana Uganda naye ne bakutwala mu restaurant y'abana Uganda ate ne bakomyawo ne bakuteeka mu ddiiro ne weebakaawo. N'otuuka Wednesday, Thursday, Friday no performinga ku Saturday shame. Ate olumala okuperforminga nga tiketi yo olinnya ku Sunday n'okomawo e Uganda. Nga basically what has happened is ovudde Uganda mbana Uganda n'ogenda e London n'otuukira mu nyumba y'omuna Uganda ne weebaka blanket y'omuna Uganda n'ogyebikka n'ozuukuka n'olinya ku stage n'oyimbira omuna Uganda n'osituka enkeera n'okomawo e Uganda. How do you become international? Omusajja yambuza n'angamba, Bebe, this is what the Nigerians did at that time. When they had a show here in the UK, they came in a month prior. And then they went to every possible radio station that they could be given an interview and all possible clubs. Nga bakubamu 1 minute nayogera ngenda kwera ne show yange wano nakubayoka even MCs and DJs could nga babagamba, you know, we have so and so, he'll be performing on this date on this venue. Bone ba building kati agenda kuita mu mabala nga 100 before his main show. Ngogendo kwanga buli bala je abantu 15 20 so when they start to open venues zabwe ne zibanga abantu bajjanga bangi nezigenda nga zigaziwa kati atenga ne ku radios their names are getting to be known. So that's how the Nigerians became big in the UK while Ugandans stayed within Ugandans. And even the Ugandans that we had in the UK started pounding us back to Uganda. And yakuwa business class obato yagala lekayo nga kwegamba ne batandika twist zatalanga ebiyenje waliwo benalaba baba collecting ango enkota. We should have gone to the UK. If you have a show there, go 1 month prior. Promote your music in different clubs, in different Nigerian restaurants and bars. Move here and there. Do a few clips here and there. Spend some time there. Nigerians spend 2 to 3 months when they are there. I did not manage to do that because I should have done it. At that time, I didn't have a family. Right now, I can't stay away from my family for 3 months. Maybe I can 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And that means possibly nyinzo kwanga mbadi n'okutambula n'omukyala. But gwakyali omu atanaba kuzimba family. Those are the things you should be doing. For 4 years bw'okikolera emyaka ena, there is no way abayimbi beeyo abali ku ground bwe bataakumanye. There is no way 1 or 2 or 3 radio stations that are big won't pick you up. There is no way those DJs won't pick you up. So wetubanga tubadde tuina conversation nga totegeera bintu bino, please temwefuula nti ate mbadde mbasirikiriddemu mmwe. Badde mbasirikiriddemu naye ndaka ngenda kuulayo enjala. Era naddala those who want to criticize musically, please wait on the 30th and pick on that album and critically listen to it. Kati mujiwulirize kifuba so that mutegera omusajja ono ddala byayogera Yesu dia oba mujiwulirize. Ate bw'oba totegedde era nja kutambula, I will do a media tour even if it means 1 year and a half. But I promise you within 1 year and a half or 2 years you'll understand why Bebe did what he did. nze mujukire nze sagala bya bampane. I am not a seeker of public sympathy. Forget it. I am a fact seeker. And I feed on facts, however painful they are. I'm a strong African. I slept on the streets in Nairobi. I had a home in Uganda. And you're here telling me that Illuminati, but there is a system in Uganda, but big three, but take our system. Ngapaka sawa zino nchatoba. Paka sawa zino nchatoba. Sagala kwasabya ama. Nina bingi nnyo bye mmanyi nze myaka gino gyonna gye tubaddewo. So I spoke about, there was a question that was given by one of the bloggers asking me about the fights. And I told her, or I said, the fights, as long as they are verbal, not physical, it's okay. But remember, this topic came from the fact of the corporate companies. If you are going to get support or sponsorship from corporate companies, you must understand the dynamics of the corporate companies. That's why I'm saying you must take the music industry as a business, not as fun, not as looking for a hit song or two. Because the reason that you're not getting money is because you're not taking it as a business. If you take it as a business, then you must know the do's and don'ts of businesses. And those are standard. Those issues are standard. Bojitwalanga business omanya corporate companies okurelatinga naawe. Oyina okubanga oli muyonjo. Yes, zifubye okutusupportinga despite, because the jungle world that we came from in Nairobi, we came nga abakongo batukubye nnyo, we came nga tulwana ne music wobweru, waba Jamaica wachi, ne babeeramu ne kabambi. Ate n'ebiseera ebyo abantu ba Uganda bali tebanategeera nnyo ku analyzing na ku scrutinizing companies. For example, I'll give you a good example. Singo muyimbi omwavayo na attacking abakazi, the person of a woman. Gojo kigeze ko ngoli muyimbi or attacking the person of a woman. Attacking a woman physically is different. It's also very dangerous, but attacking the person of a woman, okuyisa amwa abakazi amaso, olabo bonafunayo any company eri kusupportinga. Ane mwepanga, you don't want to learn. Go chigezangako. These companies have codes. So what I meant was, you can do the fights, but the fights are verbal. Oba nchogera mu luzungu, kanchogere mu Luganda. Ndoza nantegeera bulungi. Kwanga bambadde ndoza nchogera mu luzungu. Mu Luganda nategeezezza nti okulwanagana kulyokenga kwa bigambo. Nti okuli physical si kutuufu. Okuli physical mujja kufa. Ebintu byakyuka n'abagambe nti kyovola banze nagenda okulanga okuli physical okwewala n'enkola board n'engiteekako n'embeera ne bakobura. Kakati ng'omuyimbi oyo eyansumbuwanga okwagala okuleeta physical yagenda okulanga ye mutono nnyo n'atandika okutya ng'alengera wali bagayi babeera bajjudde zi board abagayi n'abalumba ntya n'abipowa ebyokulwana physical n'agenda mu palapase n'agenda n'alwanisa ba DJ ng'agira ba DJ baleme kuba nyimba baleme kumpa microphones mu clubs era nze okuyimba mu governor kyali nga kizibu nnyo. okuyimba mu box ya governor edda twai okubeera wakabigo olina okuyimba olina okufuna omukisa n'ofuna instrumento mu time saa 8 ez'ekiro ne bakkiriza okuyingira mu DJ box n'oyimba. Naye kati ngenda kikugamba nti omuyimbi oyo ya closinga ba DJ nga sirinawo empita kuyingira kajjaako oli wano mbuulira mbu system eyo gyoyita system, kumbe musajja watu yali yerwanako ne memuyitako. You have to understand you play your best game. Nchiddamu kibagamba ekyo temugenda kigaana, temugenda kijjawo bwe kiri. Kakati ngenda babuuza, ngenda bawa best example yabaddewo Nambooze byayogedde nti mwe mulondere wano e Kampala Buganda, mulondere mu Buganda naye mulemese regions endala abantu ogenda okuteekayo akalulu. Ekyo teki-interpreting exactly kyenadde nkugamba aba music omuntu kyasobola okukola ekifo ky'okulwana. Okay, let me speak English. Maybe I don't want all my international people to get lost. Because I see they're asking me to speak English, indeed. So, my fellow Ugandans, let us address things. Let us sit back and think deeper. You stop thinking that we don't, because you stop disliking Bebe Cool because he supports Museveni. Can't you see that his life is better? Is better than yesterday? Dislike Bebe Cool if it's dangerous to your life or to Uganda. You who is even saying that Bebe Cool because you hate Bebe Cool or you don't like Bebe Cool because he supports Museveni, how much good have you done for the people of Uganda? How much good have you done? Instead of teaching people how you've made money, how you've made a good life, you still want to keep Ugandans who are poor behind the line of poverty so that they can keep voting for you. Because a person who gets money does not waste a lot of time in this nonsense. I remember the first time when I had this conversation with the president. I had a very deep conversation with the president in Rajtura. But before my meeting, there was a meeting with some very, very big people, very big ministers, there were many. And you know, at that time it was immediately, we had been done with the elections about 2 weeks. So, I had him making a very big argument because I was seated just next. I get the opportunity sometimes to sit close. And he was telling these people that I don't want to hear political issues 1 month or maximum 3 months after the elections. I want now to focus, let the people of Uganda focus on economical issues. But I can promise you it's only in Uganda where someone, a politician on the opposition, wants to keep people discussing Museveni for 5 years until the elections. 5 years! Okuva kalulu kalibwe kagwa. From the last election, the opposition wants the people in the opposition to stay discussing Museveni for 5 years. I have not seen them on agricultural projects, taking them back to the constituencies. No, because they tell their people that those are government projects, you reject them. I have not seen them teaching people, the people on the opposition being taught PDM. No, because they don't want to get that little money to help their homes, because the credit will then go to the present government. They want to keep you behind the poverty line so that that vote is not misunderstood. so that the member of parliament stays in parliament for his job and his salary. Kino ngenda chidda mu Luganda kuba kijja kunuma. I have to speak this one in Luganda. Naliko Lwakitula nga tumaze akalulu president nga meetinga waliwo abantu ba nentula kumpi nemuwulira nga abagamba nti saagala kuwulira kintu kyonna kikwatagana na politics omwezi gumu 2-3 oluvannyuma lw'akalulu. Njagala kati emboozi efuuke sente kukola kuyigiriza abantu kino nekiri nga kyali agamba nti kiri very wrong and dangerous and inhuman okuyisa abantu n'obayisa emyaka 5 ng'oli mu kubalingiza politics mu mutwe. Banaakola ddi? Banaayiiya ddi? When will they work? Or when will they focus on business? That's why you find all Ugandans now, everything that happens, they interpret it politically. Even their own mistakes, they interpret them politically. I swear to the living God, most Ugandans who left Uganda to go abroad, you check in the embassies the reasons they were giving. Visit.